Hello, my name's Julie from So Unique, and I will pop all the links down below where you can find me on social media. I am most active on Instagram, and I have an Etsy shop and a website. Well, welcome to episode 33. Well, how have you all been? I hope you've had a lovely week crafting, because the weather hasn't been very good, has it? We've had quite a lot of rain here. Last 2 days it's been non-stop rain really, so we haven't done a great deal, and even today it's raining, so you might end up picking up a bit of background noise of the rain outside, and it is still a little bit windy out there, but it's perfect time for getting lots of crafting done. Well, this week I'm going to start with purchases, what I've actually bought this week for a change. Well, the first thing I got, which actually came well, not the first thing I got, but the first thing that's on my pile, I got myself a spool thread stand. Because if you've watched my previous vlogs, you'll know my embroidery machine, my Genome, the bobbin winder doesn't work all the time. It's very, very temperamental. So I bought myself a Simplicity sidewinder a few months ago, and this is really good. And when I just need the extra odd colours of bobbins for my embroidery machine, it's really good. But I needed a stand, so the thread was going upwards, and like I said, it works brilliantly. It's battery operated and it's really good, so that's why I bought this. And also another reason why I bought this, as you know, I'm doing the Laurie Holt quilt, Granny's Garden, and I'm stitching with clear thread. Now my spool holder on the machine lies flat, so the thread, sometimes it comes off, it doesn't come off right off the spool, and it seems to be getting caught up a little bit in the machine, and it's pulling tight. So then that means it's pulling the bobbin thread up a little bit, which that's not what I want. So I thought if I got this, then I can use it for my bobbin winder and the machine. So the thread comes off like that, so it'll go upwards through this and through the machine. Okay, I am hoping. So I'm going to be trying this out probably this evening or tomorrow. So that was my first purchase. So I haven't even unboxed it yet. And the next thing I bought this week was a cross stitch pattern, and it is for the Jubilee, which is a nice little design. It's just looks like a little pillow, or you can use it as a little hanging decoration. So I think this is something I'm hopefully going to start pretty soon. This came from, it's a Jubilee pin cushion ornament, and it's by Helen Phillips, and I think on Etsy she's Helen Phillips Designs, and I bought that off there, and for a pattern it was only £2, which I thought was really nice. It was good. And you've got your pattern, DMC colours, and some instructions. So yes, that's in my to-do pile. And the next thing I bought, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this though. As I mentioned the other week, I hadn't got a 10.5-inch ruler. Well, I've looked and I could only find one, and it was a pretty expensive one. And I did like the Laurie Holt ones, but I hadn't really seen any that weren't in sets, because I didn't want a set because I've got plenty of square rulers, but I didn't have a 10.5-inch one. So I was searching online last week and I found one, and I bought it, and it's really good. Love it. I mean, all the green around the edge and all these little daisies here are like grips, so your ruler doesn't move, and having all these lines going across, it's perfect, especially like for this quilt that I'm doing, to get the circle inside the square. It's fantastic because I know where to look, and I can line everything up. So this is probably one of the best rulers I've ever bought, if I'm honest, and it's going to get a lot of use, I can see that. Right, so pop that back here again. Now the next thing I bought this week, now I don't usually buy magazines very often unless there's something in there that I really like or there's several items in there. Now I bought this from Tesco's the other day. I went in with Tesco's with Adele. We'd gone to do a little bit of shopping. We'd gone to pick up some nuts and things for Kevin because it was his birthday on a Sunday. So I needed some birthday cards and anniversary cards and things like that. So yeah, I bought this and I think practically everything in here I think we would eat. It is not full of meat. You've got a mixture of a bit of meat and vegetarian recipes. There's like vegan recipes, and there is a recipe that I cooked yesterday which I will share with you a little bit later on when we get into what have I been cooking this week. But yeah, all the recipes are really nice. I mean, it's like roasting a cauliflower, things like that, and stuffing butternut squash. So that it's a really good read. I mean, you've got teriyaki salmon with stirred fry vegetables, and from what I mean, I haven't read every recipe, but from a lot of the things that I've looked at, it's just using ingredients that most of us would have in the house. So there's not a lot of fancy things in there. And I think that was $6.99 that, and it's a good thick book. So I can see that I'll be doing quite a few things out of here over the coming weeks. So I will share that all with you. Yes, I think that is actually all I've purchased for myself this week. So yeah, so some weeks I don't buy anything, but yeah. So I'll catch you all a little bit later on now. And the next section is what have I been baking this week? Well, I've had a busy week in the kitchen really. I started off my week. I decided to make some brioche bread because in the book that I got with the bread machine, there's one or two nice recipes in there, and I thought, I fancy trying brioche because I do like brioche bread. I don't buy it very often, but I do like it. Anyhow, I measured out all the wet ingredients and that. I will put a picture in somewhere. And put the flour in, thinking I'd got enough flour because you need 600 grams of strong white flour. And I'd got 390 grams of strong white flour. And I thought, well, I'm sure I've got another bag in the cupboard. And of course I went and had a look and there was no more white bread flour. So I thought, well, I'm not wasting it. We'll put some wholemeal flour in to make it up to 600 grams. So I did that. And it was one of these recipes that actually takes over 3 hours to cook. So it cooked when it came out. It smelled nice, but it wasn't brioche. It was just a sweet bread. But everybody liked it. It only lasted a day or so. It all went, and it did taste fine, but you could tell it wasn't brioche. It was just sweet bread. So I think next time I need to bake some bread, I will probably try it again, because I've actually got 2 bags of white bread flour in now, so I should be okay. Oh dear me, I don't know. Never mind. But I don't know if when I'll be baking any bread this week, because we seem to have an overload of bread this week, because I'd ordered a couple of loaves for my shopping which came on Wednesday. I went to Tesco's with Adele on Wednesday and we bought some cornbread because we like cornbread occasionally. And what else did I pick up? Oh, I picked up some rolls, I think, as well. And then, of course, when we got home and Kevin came in, he'd brought 2 loaves of bread as well, small loaves. So I had to make room in the freezer for all this bread. So this is what we're going to be eating this week. So I might not actually get any bread making done until maybe the end of the week, but we'll see. Oh dear, I don't know. I did make a crustless quiche as well. I think I've probably got one picture of that. Yeah. I forgot to take another picture when I'd actually cut it and put it on the plate with everything else, but never mind. I'll try and do better next time. But that was really nice. That goes down really well with Kevin and Jake, they like it because it's just got cheese and onion, bacon, tomatoes, things like that. So having the bag of onions and tomatoes in the freezer this week has actually worked out quite well. It just saved me a lot of time in the kitchen. Right, the next thing I made an apple crumble. I had got about 8 apples. Oh, you have to excuse me, I think I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that, it disappeared. Yes, making an apple crumble. And yeah, I bought a Pyrex dish with one of these plastic lids on. I thought that would be quite handy, and I actually filled that. Excuse me a minute, there's a phone call. Sorry about that, Kevin phoned me. Trouble is, I've lost my train of thought now. Where was I? Oh, we were on apple crumble, that was it. Well, I've got about 8 apples in the cupboard, and I thought I need to use them up, and I didn't have much time for doing anything else because I think it was getting on last night, and I'd had enough, and I wanted to go and do a bit of cross stitch, and that's what I thought. Just make one big apple crumble. So then I'm going to split it up and put most of it in the freezer and just keep enough out for probably tomorrow. So yeah, that's another thing I've been doing. So I will put a picture of that. The next thing, I made a Victoria sponge. Now I always use the Biro recipe for my Victoria sponge, and if you remember, I mentioned, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago that I'd bought 2 I think 8-inch tins from Home Bargains. Well, I used them for the first time, and they were really nice tins. I put a bit of parchment paper in first, and the cake came out lovely, and the cake actually cooked beautifully. So I was really pleased at that. So yesterday, because this was for Kevin's birthday, so what we did, I made the cake. It only comes out about that thick, and I've made 2 mixes. But when the cake was put together, it looked quite big. So I will put a couple of pictures in of that, and we put fresh cream inside and strawberries. Now Adele sort of sweetens the cream up and the strawberries up, so I left her to sort of do that and put the cake together. And then we put some icing sugar on top, so it looked very nice, and it tasted lovely. Everybody enjoyed it, so that's what we've got for pudding tonight, because we need to eat it up, especially with it having fresh cream in and strawberries. So that was quite yummy. And as it was his birthday, we didn't go anywhere. The weather was horrendous yesterday, and I'd said to him last week, asked him what he wanted for his birthday, and he says we'd have a day out somewhere, or we'd have a weekend away when the weather's better. So that's what we're doing. So he's got something to look forward to. But I did buy him a magazine and a nice big box of chocolate liqueur, so that should keep him happy for a while. And the last thing I made, it's actually out of the magazine. It's called Chestnut Loaf. Now, I have never made chestnut loaf before. We always have nut loaf. Now, I cooked it yesterday, so that is for tonight's tea. So hopefully I have got some salad in the fridge, and we will have it with salad. And I don't know, I might do some potato wedges or something for Jake and Kevin. Sorry about that, Kevin again. He'd gone to pick up he'd gone looking for some fleece for Adele that she wanted, and so yeah, that's 2 phone calls, 2 interruptions, I don't know. Right, where was I? Chestnut loaf, yes. It's not Adele's. Adele doesn't like chestnuts very much. I'm not sure why, but she's not keen on chestnuts. But I made the loaf yesterday, and we had a little taste of it, and it's really, really nice. It's really tasty. So that is going to be something I am going to make in the future. Some ingredients that we all have in. I know not everybody might have chestnuts in, but you can still buy them. I got 2 bags from Tesco's, because you need 280-gram bags. And then I think I got 2 bags from Home Bargains the other night, which they were cheaper in there, but the same weight. So yeah, so we'll be having another one of them, because it was only like carrots, onions, but everything's like grated up finely or chopped finely. So luckily I have got a food processor, so I could grate all the carrots and the onions and chop all the breadcrumbs and the chestnuts up. And like I said, it tastes really, really nice, very tasty. So that is going to be sort of top of my list, I think, for future meals, but obviously not all the time. You can't, I don't want to have too much of a good thing, do I really? I got to space it out a bit, but I did say to Adele that I would do her a nut loaf this week. So I think what we might, I said to her, I'll have to chop it up and put it in the freezer so you don't eat it all at once. But yes, I will put a picture in of that. So I think that's really all I've actually made this week. So yeah, so I'm having a break today. There's no cooking today, so like I say, we are on leftovers tonight, so I can actually get a bit of crafting done, because I didn't do anything yesterday because yeah, it was Kevin's birthday, so we basically spent the day together and that was it. So I'll catch you all in a little bit for the next section. And now it's time for the crochet section. This is the second time I've tried filming this, because I just started and my phone was ringing, but it was a spam call, so I got interrupted again. So I've deleted that and I'm starting again. So yes, on to the crochet now. So I have been crocheting away this week. I have managed to get 8 squares done, and I will pop a picture in here so you can see sort of what I've done. Now my yarn stash is actually starting to go down, which is really good, and my magic knot ball is growing a bit, so that's going to be fun to use. I wonder how big it'll actually get, or how many grams of yarn I'll actually get. So that's pretty exciting. I am enjoying the crochet. I do take it to work with me, and yeah, I just get a bit done as and when I can. So yes, it's good. So now it's just a case of getting the wool really to start and join them together. I did think today maybe just keep using my my scrap yarns and join it together with different colours, so it is truly a scrappy blanket. But I don't know, I can't make up my mind yet, but I would like to start and actually join the squares together now, so I can sort of work out sort of how many more squares I need to crochet. So I must be about halfway there by now. And the next section is cross stitch. Well, if you remember last week, I started to cross stitch this little design, and I said I was going to make it into a pillow. Well, I've actually got a finished object. I have finished the cross stitch and I have made it into a little pillow. So that was a nice, quick and easy stitch, and that's how it's turned out. So it's a nice little dinky cushion, and I've put some honeycomb fabric on the back. So what I thought I might do this year is do a few more of these designs, and I have found out my little basket. It's actually a bread proving basket. I have 2 of these, this one, and I've got a round one, and I've had them for a couple of years and I've never actually used them, so they've just been sat on top of the cupboard. So what I decided to do was put it in the kitchen near my tea tray, and I was going to start and fill it up with some little pillows, which I think will be rather cute. So I'm not saying they're all going to be cross stitched, there might be some hand stitched ones. We'll just see sort of what I feel like doing, but I've got another 3 designs to do to go in here, and hopefully this week I might start another one of these. I might do the skep, so that'll be nice. So yeah, and if I get plenty of cushions, I'll change bowls and put the big round one in. But I really enjoyed doing that. That was a nice sort of quick cross stitch, so that was a lot of fun. So last night I decided to start on another cross stitch. And what I'm doing, let's quick look, another tomty. So this is tomty number 3, and all I've managed to get done is a minute, it's not the wrong way around. That way, that's it. I only managed to get the nose done last night, but I have made a start, so I'm going to sort of crack on with this one. I'm not sure if I'll get this one finished this week, but you know, we'll see. It just depends on how much time I've got, but I am really enjoying doing these cross stitch. It's nice to get back into again. And the next section is sewing. So what have I been sewing this week? Well, I've actually done a fair amount of sewing, really. I'm quite surprised at how much I've actually got done this week. I've taken a few things to work because it's been quite quiet in the shop this week, so I've had a little bit more time to sew and do things like that. So this week I really don't know how much sewing I will get done, but to start with, I have made, I've got 16 frogs here that are all ready for stuffing and having the bottom stitched up, and I've also got 8 that are complete. So I'm trying to do these for Adele for the end of March for her fair. So these will go back in my bag and I will take them to work with me this week and see what I can get done. And the other thing I've been working on is my Laurie Holt's Grandma's Garden. So that's the picture. And last week I managed to get 3 squares done. There's actually more work in these squares than you think, but this week I have managed to do, let's have a look, I've actually got 5 done, which is not bad going. Because it's a plique, what I was doing in an evening, so I got myself organised, sorted out all the templates for so many blocks, and I put them all in a bag with fabric, with the interfacing, and I've got my pen and I drew them all out and I stitched round maybe 1 or 2 packs a day, depending how much time I'd got. Then the next day I would take them to work and I would sit while I wasn't doing anything and cut them out, turn them, press them and arrange them on the circle ready for stitching. And yes, I did take my glue so I could baste it, so that meant when I came home, if I'd got like cooking and baking to do and other things to do, I could get on with that, then come out here and get some sewing done and just get straight on with the blocks, which actually worked out quite well. So that's what happens when you're not busy at work. You have a little bit more time to do some sewing. Anyhow, we'll start off with, this is block 4, so I'll pop it on here. Now I am going to probably do a little bit of embellishments on these blocks, but I think I might wait until I've got them all stitched out first, because I'm not really sure what I want to do. So that is the first one, which is really nice. I like that one, but you can see there's a lot of stitching on these, so they do take a little while to complete. So that is block 4. Now this is block 5. There we go, so that's that one. I might do a little bit of embroidery up here. I might put some French knots in there or some buttons, but it's that confetti fabric that I've been using. But that's turned out nice. It's not as easy as you think going around all these shapes. It takes a bit of doing. Oh dear, especially when I haven't done anything like this for a few years. But I think so far this next one is my favourite. So this is block 6, and I love the colours. All those strawberries, they're very pretty. So I've thoroughly enjoyed doing that one. So we're on block 7 now. This was a bit simpler one, but it's still not easy going around the top of a heart. But we've managed. And we've got 2 shades of green for the leaves. So that's nice, I like that one. And then the final one is block 8, and this is a tulip one, which this was a nice one to do. So I'm hoping I will get a little bit of time this evening to set up some more bags for this week so I can sort of crack on with them. But no, I really like that one as well, so I'm really having fun with these, and I'm really just going to try and get as many done as I can during the week, but you know, we'll see. It just depends how much free time I have. And the last section is what's new in the shop this week. Well, yet again, I've had another pile of fabrics come in. So my job is, after I finish filming, is to take some pictures and hopefully have them all on the website ready for tomorrow. So I've got a nice metallic silver, which feels quite nice. It's nice quality, that one. I know it's not easy to show silver on camera, but what I will do is all the fabrics I'm going to show you today, I will try and get some nice pictures or a bit of video footage, and I will pop that in at the end. Now, some of these fabrics, they're really beautiful colours. This has got like a honeycomb design, so you've got like a beige background and the honeycomb is in yellow. I'm not sure if that's picking it up properly. The colour actually looks better to me in real life than what it does on camera. But these are all be lovely for backgrounds or English paper piecing, anything like that. Now this is a lovely honeycomb one again, but this is a lovely mustardy colour, so that's very nice. And the next one is, this is a honeycomb one as well, and this is a nice shade of green. It's very pretty, that one. I like that myself. And then we've got, oh, here's another honeycomb one. This is more, I suppose it's like a rust, that one, and it's got a cream sort of honeycomb design on there. Well, that's very nice. That would be nice for maybe some bags or something, maybe a bit of machine embroidery, or put a nice bee on there. That would be lovely. And this one's a green one, and it's got like a, oh, I don't know what you call it. It's like a little dash. This collection is Nature Study. I don't know if that's picking up. I think you can probably see something on there. But yet again, the green is not showing up very well. It's a nice sort of subtle green, I'd say, this one. And then we've got a brown one with a little fleck on as well. And then we've got like a, I suppose, a tan shade with a little fleck on. There's a bit of cotton on there. But these all look very, very nice. Oh gosh, everything's falling. That's what happens when you haven't got a lot of room and you start piling things up. And we've got another honeycomb one here. That's on the brown family, that one. It's like a tan, I suppose you'd call it. And then the final one is, it's like a yellow, I'd say yellow mustard, and you've got some little cream leaves on there. So I am looking forward to using these. So I've got myself a little piece. I just take a small piece off the beginning of the bolt, just to photograph them and everything, and then I'll make something with them. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed looking at them, and like I say, all being well, they will be on the website tomorrow. Well, I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I've been up to this week. I seem to have been pretty busy, which has been nice. I've thoroughly enjoyed the cross stitch and all the sewing this week, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting a little bit more cross stitch done tonight. So thank you ever so much for joining me, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me. I do appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely week. I hope you get lots of crafting done, and let's hope this weather picks up a bit, because I'm getting fed up of getting wet and blown away. So take care everyone, have a good week, and I'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.